Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. You guys, it's starting to snow. I'm just looking at the snow. I was going to go to the gym. And then as soon as I looked outside, it's snowing. It's beautiful. All right, let me put my coffee down and get started. So we're here for an energy update. I had asked the collective energy, what is this reading going to be about? And immediately I got protect your energy. Lovely way to start the week. Protect your energy. What is going on? What is shifting that we're needing to protect our energies? Okay, so we just had the 2/2/2020 palindrome day. Very special day yesterday. Today is also a very special day for reasons I won't be saying, but you know who you are. Girl, I got something to tell you later. I'm just saying, I got something to tell you later. Well, that we'll see. All right, so, okay, this is already, this is already looking extra right now. Extra. Let's pull it down here so you guys get a little taste of what the cards are, but you can't actually see what they are. Little tease. So let's see. All right. Let's put it here. I want to be able to shuffle. Actually shuffle. So, very interesting. These cards were coming up quite a bit last night. So I'm assuming this is carrying on from something that's been going on for quite a few people for some time now. And it's probably starting to come to a head, like a zit that has been spread out under the skin for some time. And the heat of the resistance is causing it to come to a head. Ooh-wee, what's going to happen? Okay. We're going to see. We're going to see. I'm having quite a bit of sinus drainage, third eye drainage. I don't know about you guys, but whatever was going on yesterday, it's causing me to drain. Hold on. There was another deck that I wanted to use. I don't know where it went. Almost there, guys. Almost there. So you guys are, well, you know, I should probably wear my glasses. I think it says yes, me too. Let's just put on. Does it say that? Okay. Oh. Mm-hmm. All right, here goes. Here goes. So, vertigo. So card number 12, boundaries. Boundaries are needing to be established at this point, okay? Not just established, but very much vigilantly guarded and enforced, okay? Now, I'm wondering if maybe, you know, this is a group lesson, a group exercise in discernment. Because if you look, that's like a delicate flower piercing through that shield, that bubble. And I'm wondering if, as a group, we're going to be experiencing some lessons that involve cleverly packaged, cleverly packaged deception. Okay. Personal experience, I found that the people who I personally have been wronged by the most deeply, the most intensely, came as delicate flowers, as individuals offering ridiculous amounts of loyalty and love, very vocalized. So it's not to say that everyone that's going to offer you a sense of loyalty and love is going to betray you, but it's really time to begin exercising discernment. Okay. The difference between, someone who's faking the loyalty and love and someone who isn't, for those who are probably going to go through this lesson, you already felt something was off. And you tried to convince yourself that you were just being mean, that you were being judgmental, that don't be like that, the typical empath struggle. But you already felt something. You already felt intuitive hits letting you know this is not a connection you should foster. This is not a pure energy exchange. So you have to listen to those feelings. You have to listen to that intuitive hit, that guidance from your soul. Now, this is happening because you're being prepared to pull in elevated levels of abundance, okay? Typically, before the abundance comes in, you become primed for it through tests, testing you to see whether you're going to allow yourself to receive. Because really, when you silence those intuitive hits, you are blocking yourself from fully receiving, from receiving guidance, from receiving abundance in that guidance department. Okay, because abundance is more than monetary. Contrary to popular belief, abundance is not necessarily about money. It can have aspects that are monetary, but it's not always just money. Okay, so when you block that intuitive hit, that guidance, you are blocking a form of abundance. And again, from my own experience, I found that typically what happens before you receive a big load of abundance into your field, you will be tested. You'll be tested in your willingness and ability to give yourself permission to receive. So with all of this that shifts and goes on, and it's such a common thing that occurs at this point, you might experience card number 5, vertigo. Whatever you choose will be correct. So you hold the key. The key to what? Only you know. But you hold the key. The key's already in your hand. Whatever you choose is correct. That means if you choose to trust someone who's not worthy of your loyalty, of your friendship, that's okay. That's something you had to experience. It's not because you lack intelligence. It's not because you lack integrity. It's not because you're being punished. It's not because anything but the fact that you needed to experience that to further develop your discernment, to see the causation and effect. The causation is you not trusting your intuitive guidance. And the effect is whatever happens after that. Okay? So whatever you choose will be correct. And I mean, not to forget, we are co-creating this experience with other people. We have a very real say in what we experience, how we experience it. So this is a truth that goes down to your core. All right. These are core truths that are coming up for us. These are energies that we probably haven't explored before during our lifetime. A lot of our core truths are things about us that we are shamed for having, shamed for being, shamed for speaking or allowing others to witness. Sometimes it has to do with characteristics such as stubbornness, rebelliousness, unwillingness to sit in a box with everyone else. These are core truths coming up. He's on the counter. So, here's the thing, okay? I'm being given this information right now. Notice how she's clutching her womb and sacral and solar plexus area. For quite a few of you, because most of the people that join me are indeed feminine goddesses. For most of us, females are very easily manipulated when it comes down to certain types of words and emotions, things that put into question your ability to nurture, your ability to be a good woman. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. A good woman knows her worth. Okay? If it's not in alignment with the worth that you have set for yourself, your worth as you know it, it is not in alignment. You don't have to bend over backwards. You don't put yourself on sale, on clearance, or any of that. Okay? You are a full price, full ticket item. Never put yourself on clearance for people who don't understand your value. And you don't hold it against them for not understanding your worth. Because the people who don't value you and what you bring to the table tend to be the people who don't value themselves and what they bring to the table. Okay? They tend to be the people who feel they need to be on clearance. So they need you to put yourself on clearance as well, because it helps them feel better about their lack of worth, their own personal lack of worth, their perceived lack of worth. Not because you're saying you're better. This is what they believe. Let them believe it on their own. Don't be offended by it. Don't take it in as your truth. But there will be plenty of attacks that are focused on taking from your personal power, putting into question your value as a woman, a goddess. Okay. And here's the thing: you don't even have to be a female to have this happen. We have both masculine and feminine energy within our field. Every single person has this. And so this can be something that happens to males as well. But primarily, that's why. That's why. You know, that person that keeps messaging trying to get funds. Mm-hmm. Notice the wording. So that's why I keep. Okay. So apparently I was going through this lesson in advance. Someone continues to message me, trying to shame me for not falling for their attempt to commit financial fraud. I was just like, no, I'm not part of that. No, I'm not going to participate. No, I'm not giving you anything. No, 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 no. No, it's an answer. Maybe you should record a song. Satan song. No. But here's the thing. I was noticing right from the start. Okay, so something felt off and I was like, this doesn't feel right. This feels like, you know, an attempt to defraud. I'm not, no. And the way the individual communicates, it's consistently an attack on, it's not right for you not to help me. I need help. I need this. I need, to the point where they're talking about their babies and then in parentheses, cats. And I was just like, dude, you really went there. You really, really went there. You really, really went there. And I'm analyzing this because there's this part of me that is still, as an empath, don't be like that. Someone's coming to you for help. And there's this common belief, if someone asks for help, you should always help. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't always help. You should listen to what your soul is telling you. And in that moment, my soul was telling me, do you want to repeat this? Do you want to repeat this kind of lesson? What are you going to decide? And I was like, no, no, I don't want to repeat this. Not at all. And so as I continue to set the boundary and enforce that boundary in a firm manner, like, no, I'm not willing to. They continue to show more and more and more the manipulations. Listen to the words people use. If people are aware that you have certain sensitivities for children, for battered women, for whatever it is, whatever you have sensitivities to, things that trigger old traumas and really pull at the heartstrings. Why are they bringing that up? Have they been watching you? Have they been paying attention to whatever it is that causes you to have an uptick in emotion? Things like that. You have to pay attention to it. And that has to do with core wounding. Okay. This has to do with things that you experienced primarily in your early childhood, a feeling of abandonment, a sense of not belonging, not being accepted, just really being an outcast, things like that. Like, oh, I just thought you would understand. I do understand. You're trying to play me. I do understand. I see this for exactly what it is. Now, am I going to condemn you? No, but I'm going to move forward for this. I'm not going to participate in it. You're not going to make me feel badly for listening to the guidance that my soul is giving me. Okay? So you have to do this. You have to have this conversation with yourself. You can continue what you've been doing, or don't be like that. You need to help people. And then you help them. They screw you over. They take from you. And then you're left, everybody screws me over. No, boo-boo, you screwed yourself. You screwed yourself because your higher self was already telling you, don't do this. Don't do this. And you kept saying, don't be like that. Don't be like what? Truthful? Where you take care of yourself? Where you discern from an actual need versus a preference? Because there's never going to be a shortage of people who prefer you help them. And honestly, if you really want to look at this from all angles, when you continue to help someone who prefers the help versus actually needing it, you are enabling their weakness, their disbelief in their ability to provide for themselves, to get themselves out of their own hole. There are people who truly do need help, but for the most part, there are a large number of individuals who don't. They prefer it. You're enabling their wound, and that's not love. That's not love. That is a very selfish thing, and I'll tell you why. There's something within you that feels bad, so you're helping them not to help them, but to make yourself feel better. That's not love. Recognize the behavioral patterns you are participating in. That is not love. That is a cycle of disempowerment for both of you. Okay. And I've found, and I'm guilty of this as well. Okay. As an empath, I'm absolutely a part of this group where I find myself looking for people who are hurting worse than I am because it somehow makes me feel better. It distracts me from healing myself. So I go and look for people who are hurting worse than I am and work on them instead of me. Okay. So, kind of look at where are your actions truly rooted? Is this truly a Good Samaritan type thing? Or is it to kind of be used as a crutch for your own decision not to heal yourself? Okay. So card number 14, Golden Crown. You're going to be getting quite a bit of information from your higher self. As whatever this is occurs, you're going to get information from your higher self. Allow that information to filter through. Allow yourself to receive that information and really begin analyzing why it's so difficult for you to not listen to your own intuitive hits. Why is it? What's going on? Ooh. Wow. Okay. Ooh, this is deep. Oh. Okay. All right. So card number 24, protection. There you are, needing to protect yourself. Okay, your higher self is trying to fly you away from the things that are going to grow you in an unreasonably painful way. Now, you can allow your higher self to do this without resistance, or you can fight it, you can make it difficult, and you can force yourself to experience the lessons that are being brought before you. It's up to you. As the other card said, whatever you choose will be correct. Some of us need to learn in a more intense fashion, and that's okay. It's just a learning style. It's a learning step. So here, openness. Okay, we have the moon. Typically, when we look at the moon card, it's about things that happen in secret, in shadow. You have some clouds. What are the clouds obscuring? Okay, openness. Are you open to receiving the truth? Are you open to receiving the guidance from your higher self? When I first saw this card, I read it as oneness. And I was like, oneness, that is the concept of oneness. Yes, there is truth to it, but oftentimes it's used to further perpetuate the shaming and manipulation of empaths. We are all one. We all need to help each other. Help, not enable weakness. There's a difference. There is a difference. So that's something that's being done in the shadows, the dark side of the moon, okay? You have to make sure that you allow yourself to be open to the guidance of your soul. Now, the guidance doesn't always feel good. Sometimes the guidance makes you feel really uncomfortable. Sometimes it even makes you feel badly, makes you feel sad, because you have been so accustomed and programmed to martyr yourself. Now, once you begin the deprogramming of that martyrdom matrix program, you don't feel as bad. Once upon a time, if someone messaged me more than once asking for help, like, oh my God, the first time killed me saying no. I can't say no again. And I would cave. I would do it. Now it's like, no, you need to respect my boundaries. I said no. Okay? I said no. The fact that you cannot respect me and my boundaries tells me you do not value me as an individual. You see me as a means to an end. And in that case, I need to discontinue this connection. I no longer feel bad because I'm releasing that programming at this point. So don't base it off of your emotional response to your decision, okay? Base your decision off of what your soul is guiding you to understand, to recognize about this interaction you're having with someone else. You don't have to necessarily fully understand what's going on, but if your soul is telling you, no, this is bad, this is bad, this is going to hurt you. If you continue with this, you're going to hurt. You're going to screw yourself. Do you have to understand why? Your soul is telling you, don't touch the stove, it's going to hurt. Well, no, I need to know why. Why is it going to hurt? Okay, well, go ahead and touch the stove and find out why. Go ahead, touch the stove and find out why. I find souls tend to respond in that way. Well, mine does. Like, I need to know. Tell me why. Oh, go ahead and touch it. Let me know how that goes. And then I've learned, you tell me that, I'll question. If you tell me go ahead, no, it's okay. I don't need to understand. It's okay. It's okay. So card number 14, Lavaria, let love grow. Here's the thing, you guys. This is what makes it super duper deep. There's the empath. This is what you're protecting yourself from. Instead of choosing to see what's at the heart of the matter, we focus on the details we want to see. Oh, but the soft petals, they speak to me in a soft way. They manipulate me in softness. Forget about that. I don't want to see that. All I want to see is, oh, but they present themselves in a beautiful manner. They speak eloquently. They know the words. Yeah? Forget that, right? Your soul keeps telling you, look at that. What are you clinging on to? And if you look over here, you're being bound. You're being bound. You are being bound. If hair is your personal power, as your antenna to receive messages from soul, look at your hair being whipped around. Look at the distortions in your hair. Your antenna is not being allowed to transmit the messages clearly at that point. Okay? You're being drained, you're being bound, you're being coerced into something that's not in alignment with you and your truth. But if you need to understand by experiencing it, by all means, best way to learn. First-hand experience, best way to learn. But here's the thing. Are you really learning, or are you just repeating cycles? Do you just like to punish yourself? Do you feel so badly about yourself that you believe on some level you should be punished, that you don't deserve happiness, you don't deserve reciprocal respect? What is it? Why do you continue repeating these cycles? So is it a lesson, or is this something that continues to repeat? The answer is probably different for everyone. I wouldn't be surprised if many empaths say, yes, I keep repeating it. I wouldn't be surprised if many of the empaths can relate and they look back at everything and they're like, you know, I keep helping people and they keep just doing this kind of thing to me. Okay, are you really helping? Or are you choosing to categorize your enablement of diseased, toxic mentality and behaviors as a need for help? You know what I'm saying? How is this really continuing? Because the people that I've helped in the past that truly needed the help, they've accepted the help and they've been so grateful and they've always felt indebted. And I'm like, no, don't even, you already said thank you once. You don't have to keep saying it again. I'm not keeping a spreadsheet of the things I've done for you. Just move on with your life. But the people who didn't really need the help, who had a good story and I fell for it, more times than not, they'll be back. Like, oh, I have another issue and I just really need help. Just this one last time. And do you really need help? Or am I just enabling your lack of ability, lack of desire to make more responsible life choices? Because if I'm enabling this lack of good decision making for your life, is that love? Am I helping you to heal and empower yourself? Or am I helping you to perpetuate your suffering? And these are things you have to ask yourself, okay? Card number 33, transformation. Now, look at all that dark shadow energy mixed in with some blues, some greens, some of that yellow. This is about communication. This is about heart space expansion, about allowing your personal power to expand and become a part of how you love people, all right? So this is you transforming the ways in which you offer assistance. Sometimes the most powerful way you can help someone is by simply allowing them to vent. Because when you vent, when you verbalize all this chaotic thoughts that have been jumbled in your mind, sometimes hearing it out loud is enough for you to begin making sense. Sometimes. And this is one of the reasons why I'm really, really grateful for you guys to share this space with me, because all of these things apply to me. And I have such chaotic thoughts within myself that sometimes when I'm speaking out loud and trying to deliver messages, general messages, I'm like, oh shit, that's what it is for myself. You know? So this is like a very mutually beneficial thing. I'm not just giving. We're both growing together. All of us are growing together. We're receiving the messages and interpreting them in the unique ways that they apply to our personal journeys. This is a beautiful group effort and a very reciprocal, loving exchange of information and thoughts. It's mutually beneficial. It truly is. So here. Card number 17, self-reflection. Everyone that comes before you is indeed a reflection of you. They can be a reflection of what you're aspiring to be, a reflection of what you've released in the past, a reflection of an internal circumstance that's being projected outwardly. But everything that you come across is a reflection of you. Sometimes when you get triggered by people's behaviors, it's because there's this part of you that recognizes you once behaved that way. Sometimes When you feel very, very inspired to the point of tears. Ooh, 54% at 918, 999. Sometimes what ends up happening is you see your potentiality being reflected back at you from someone else. You know, if you, and I don't know what people's thoughts of me are, but if you find yourself like, oh my gosh, she's so strong, I'm just reflecting a part of you. You have that same strength. You just haven't given yourself permission to allow that aspect to rise up, because there's still this programming that's running in the background that's telling you no. That's cockiness. No, that's not acceptable. You should be ashamed. You shouldn't be ashamed. Whatever you value in me, these are aspects that you have within yourself. These are aspects of yourself looking right back at you. Okay. So it's time for you to allow yourself to relax. We had talked about that moon energy. Hold on. Let me not start dropping cards. We had talked about that moon energy and the things that are being done in secret, in quiet, and all of that. Well, you know what? When you listen to the guidance of your higher self, all the unnecessary is not allowed to happen. Okay? So you can just go ahead and relax in the face of that moon. You can just hang there, relax, no fear, full trust and full submission to the will of your own soul, not to someone else. Not to someone else, not because someone told you to, not because it sounded good when someone was doing a reading, but because this is what resonates as right for you and your path. Card number 5, effervescence, cultivate love. It's time for you to begin cultivating an environment full of love. Love is not simply coddling. It's not enabling. That's not love. That's toxicity. Okay? Love can be very firm. Love is a totality. It's a totality type of energy. It's not a duality. Okay? Love has the ability to destroy as easily and potently as it can rebuild. Fact. It is a fact. So cultivate an environment of love, one where you can be who you are and establish as well as enforce your personal boundaries. People who can't respect your boundaries are people who don't understand the truth of love. And that's okay, but they need to keep moving. They can't stay in your space. You have to move forward from that. And if bridges need to be burned, then they need to burn. Okay, there's nothing childish about allowing a bridge to burn. If that bridge is going to take you back to a place of toxicity, a place that you've worked really, really hard to leave behind, why would you leave it erect? You don't. If that bridge is condemned, if it's no longer functional, you allow it to burn. Not out of hatred, not out of malice, not to teach someone, but to ensure that you don't return to that place of toxicity again. This is to protect you. And it's okay to protect you. People will say, oh, building walls is so bad. Why are you so overprotective of yourself? What are you so afraid of? It's okay to feel fear. It's okay to want to protect yourself. It's okay to have walls. As long as you recognize these things in balance are perfectly fine. But when you allow them to get out of control, you then have caused your own imprisonment, which you can get yourself out of. But as long as you recognize those things, you can continue to exist as you are. This is not about trying to make you feel badly that you felt ashamed for having these things. This is about just recognize all of this, allow it to just kind of sink in, just you don't have to feel any shame. These are things that are just causing you to start thinking, start really examining what are you perpetuating in your life. And when I use that word perpetuating, it has such a negative connotation. The circle of life is a perpetual cycle. Is that negative? No, it's not. It's not. Things only become negative when we allow ourselves to create a definition that makes it a negative thing. This is a fact. Someone once called me the C word. C-U-N-T. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I wasn't offended. I wasn't pissed off. And then because I was working security at the time, one of my coworkers was like, oh my God, I cannot believe he called you that. And I was like, whatever. And he's like, do you even know what that means? I was like, no. And then he told me, and I was like, yo, so like a vagina? I have one. It doesn't mean anything to me. You set the definition. And you have to understand, a lot of your definitions aren't your own. A lot of your definitions are what other people tell you it is. You're allowing other people to decide for you the type of power these words will have over you. It's time to take your power back. It's time for you to redefine your life, your perception, redefine what filters you're going to use, how those filters function, what you're allowing in and what you're blocking out with those filters, okay? Absence. Ooh-wee. Sometimes people need to feel your absence. Sometimes you need to call in sick for that drama you got called into, okay? I think part of what's going to happen for some, an individual might present as a delicate flower, and someone's being mean to me. Someone's doing this and that to me. Okay, well, I'm sorry that's happening. You can vent if you want. If you're letting me know this because you'd like me to fight your battle for you, I'm sorry, but I'm not working today. That's not the kind of bookings that I take. I don't do those kinds of appointments. So absence. Allow yourself to miss the bullshit. Allow it to just pass right by you. Sometimes, like I said, the most powerful thing you can do for someone, the most empowering thing is to just allow them to vent, okay? Allowing someone to vent does not mean you're taking in their problems as your own, that you're taking ownership over the things that need to be addressed by that individual. Venting is simply listening, okay? And then card number 6. I think we all get through this, okay? I think we all get through this. Whatever attempts there are to try and bury you, know that you're a seed. Know that you're going to grow. Because remember, again, vertigo, whatever you choose will be correct, okay? And if you choose to allow someone to bury you, to surround you with dark things, to bring you to a dark circumstance, might be yours, might not be yours, doesn't matter. But if you allow it, it's something you need to experience. It's a part of the key to your growth. Now, you're going to come to a point where you'll celebrate who you are. All of this, I believe, is to get you to a point where you can celebrate who you are, exist in your authenticity, and just have no shame for being you. But I want to make clear, there is a thing that's called manufactured authenticity. Okay, that authenticity is a new soup du jour. Please be truly authentic. Be truly who you are, not just present a mask and sell that as authenticity. Free yourself from the need to prove who you are to other people, to be something you already are, okay? Stop trying and start being. You already are who you are. It's not something you have to try to do. You are who you are, and you're going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to evolve as an individual. The way you see things, the way you interact, the relationships you have, it's going to continue to evolve. You're not meant to stay in one place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. All right? Ooh, that wind feels good. Yeah, it's crisp.
Ice is the same consistency as snow cones, maybe. It's not.
Snow cone.
That's how thick each snowflake is.
Should I leave my coffee outside and let the...
Maybe get frozen in like 15 minutes.
Oh, hold on, guys.
What? Be right back, buddy.
Okay. Hold on. Was it this deck? I already pulled from that deck. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, let me get the final cards. So, hi, Joy Joy. Let us see. Final tip for this update. Ooh, yes, yes, and yes. All right. All right. So card number 23. You are worth it. You're absolutely worth it. You're worth it. Stop trying to diminish your worth. Stop trying to convince yourself that you aren't as amazing as you actually are, that you don't deserve the kind of love and respect you give other people. Just stop. You're worth it. Allow yourself to truly embrace that, okay? Allow yourself to recognize you for who you are. Hi, little guy. Hi, little guy. You so sour face. Mr. Pewix. Card number 34, vulnerability. Oftentimes as empaths, we think that vulnerability is a sign, is a show of weakness, and it's not. How powerful do you have to be to allow other people to see your weak moments? I used to think that showing any kind of emotion, allowing people to see any type of struggle was a show of weakness, and it really isn't. It really, really isn't. I was a completely different person not that long ago. I 100% participated in the program. Yeah, I was a completely different person. And the more I've allowed myself to become vulnerable, the more of my own personal power has returned to me. I've become more free to walk my journey in whatever way works best for me and my learning. So vulnerability, allow yourself to experience. You don't have to be vulnerable publicly and have live streams where you're sobbing and, you know, gushing about all this trauma you've experienced. Sometimes vulnerability is simply allowing yourself to actually share what you're struggling through in that moment with someone you deeply trust. Sometimes that's enough, because sometimes we won't even allow ourselves to do that. We won't even admit to our own selves how much we're struggling, how difficult it is, how much pain we're feeling. So sometimes even just admitting to yourself, like, this is too much for me. This hurts too much. Sometimes that's enough. You know, just looking yourself in the mirror. When was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and had a vulnerable conversation with yourself? Probably never, huh? Probably never. Because it felt so silly and so weak and so stupid. It's not. Okay? It's not. When people ask me, how is it that I go live and share all of these things, I'm basically looking in the mirror and conversing with myself. Ain't that some shit? I don't see any of you. I see myself talking to myself. Tell me that's not crazy. That's crazy. I'm having conversations with myself. That's what you guys are witnessing. Conversations with myself. So try it. Have conversations with yourself. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself. See what kind of truths rise up. See how much of your power returns back to you. Once you release the shame and the guilt and all of these other manipulative things that have been programmed into you because of this matrix we exist within, see how that heals you. Card number 14, assurance. You're being assured in all the seasons of your life you will be provided for. Your higher self will provide the circumstance, the interactions, the connections that you need to grow, to sustain your growth, to perpetuate growth, expansion. So definitely, this is going to be a challenging period. I think this energy is probably going to continue through to the 22nd, if not slightly after that. Be ready to be pushed slightly beyond your comfort zone. Be ready to see aspects of yourself and of other people that you never expected to see. And it's okay. You don't have to go into that that mental space where if you see the truth of someone, you suddenly commit yourself to this belief that they're fake, that they've been faking it with you this whole time. Careful of that. Careful of that. Because oftentimes, even people who are fake, they've been showing you they're fake for quite some time. You've just been choosing not to recognize it, not to acknowledge it. Again, it goes back to those intuitive hits. Your higher self has been telling you, and you keep trying to ignore it. So are they really fake, or were you trying to pretend to be blind and dumb? Which one is it? Oh, not dumb, deaf, blind and deaf. Because dumb is talking, right? Blind and deaf. So yeah, no more are we allowing circumstance that grows us to be something that we externalize. Oh, it's their fault. They did this to me. Nope. Circle it back in, circle it back in. How did I allow this to happen? And this is not about blame, okay? Release that need to blame and blame. No, this is about I'm powerful in my own right. Nothing is allowed to happen without my agreement. On some level, I agreed to something. This is for me to learn and grow. What was I supposed to learn and grow? What was I supposed to learn? How was I supposed to grow from this circumstance? Was I already being warned by my higher self? Could this have been avoided? You know, really constructive thoughts. And this is not about ignoring the organic feelings that are associated with a circumstance. If someone did you wrong, someone hurt you, and you're angry, you're angry. Stop trying to tell yourself you shouldn't be angry. Be angry, not forever. Be angry for a reasonable amount of time to allow yourself to process, while you also acknowledge that you co-created something. And what did you need to learn from that? Okay? This is about really, truly empowering yourself now. No more of the half teachings that really just perpetuate the shame and guilt and fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. All of these really popular teachings regarding spiritual growth, psychological. Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. People are going to be so irritated with me. I personally believe much of the psychology field is total bullshit. I personally believe that. 100% of psychiatric field is bullshit. 100%. But psychology, it seeks pathology instead of actually, I don't even want to get into it, but stop trying to find pathology, okay? If you're trying to find disease, you'll find it. What are you going to do with what you find? Point out that there's disease? Reaffirm how broken and screwed up you are? And I've seen therapists. Have they helped me? Outside of the one that told me, I'm so sorry, you were misdiagnosed, you're not actually bipolar, you're empathic. And that's some shit. Yeah, outside of her, all I've experienced is go ahead and, you know, spill your guts out. And what do you think about that? I don't know. I don't. What do you mean? What do I think about that? I'm obviously struggling with what I think. So instead of looking for pathology and fixating on pathology, why don't you begin recognizing you're powerful enough to co-create a negative experience? So that means because of balance, creation loves balance. That means you're powerful enough to create a positive experience. Recognize what the negatives are, shift what needs to be shifted so you can roll back into the positive. And you're not supposed to just stay in the positive, okay? That's another falsity. This thinking that if you have any backsliding, that you're failing in some way. No, no. You're not a choo-choo train. You're a dancer. The most beautiful dances have movement in all directions. So stay graceful, keep moving, and allow yourself to be flexibly strong. Okay? Be flexibly strong. Don't be rigid. Be flexibly strong. Allow yourself to be shaped and molded by your thoughts and experiences, simply so you can break the mold and prove to yourself you will not be confined, not even by your own perceived limitations. And that's how you grow. You find your boundaries and you push beyond them. That's how you grow. Not by listening to anyone else, but by doing it yourself. Okay? So protect your energy, allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to dance. If you haven't already given this video a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me every single time I'm live. I do personal readings. I still have a coupon active on my website. The entire website, anything that processes on that website is 33% off. You don't need a coupon code. Discount automatically taken at checkout. And what else did I need to share? All right, that's it, guys. I'm coming live again in a few minutes to do zodiac signs. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.